That's how you know I'm winning. See they hating coming from afar, cause I'm money spending. I'm coming from the bottom, see me rising from the trenches. I'm scoring in the game, they bowling.
Share Myra here from Mind Body Soul UK, and I'm here today with Fetti. Would you like to introduce yourself? Say who you are and what you do.
Fetti the world, musician, music artist, songwriter, little acting. Basically a jack of all trades as far as music, but also a jack of all trades in blue collar work. I'm a licensed electrician.
Okay, you do a lot of stuff then. And you're
Well, I mean, I didn't know how much details I could give, so I didn't want to keep talking.
no, that's all good. That's all good. And tell the people where you're from, because we've got obviously UK people watching this. So,
Well, I'm from
Thursday.
Brooklyn, New York. If But basically, United States, to those in the UK, I'm from Brooklyn, New York,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, that's where I'm at right now, currently, at the exact moment we speak.
Amazing, amazing. And you say you do music as well. How does music help you? How does it help your mind? How does it help you overall?
Well, it's a lot of variable reasons why I like music. It helps me more so because it's the vibration, you know.
Mm.
I think that we all have a certain frequency we running on, and music kind of enhances whatever you might be feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the messages in music can help you persevere through things that you might be going through. Um,
Yeah.
Music is just, I feel like music is the symphony of life. You feel me?
Mm-hmm. 100%. 100%. I agree with that. Today we're going to be discussing a range of different things. So we're going to start with parenting. In what ways do you think
Oh,
parenting has an effect on people overall?
that's a good question. Um, I mean, it's a lot. There's a lot when it comes to parenting, honestly. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, growing up with both my parents in my house, living with both of them at the same time, um, seeing them, how they coexisted together,
Yeah.
there's a certain dynamic of life that comes from parenting,
Mm-hmm.
is a certain degree of what you see at home that kind of sets the tone for what you experience with your own point of view, what you choose to see with your own eyes. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel it's very important. It's the primary structure format, like sets the guidelines to me to what could be and what is, you know. Because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times you have so many different formats of parenting that you can never say one is right or one is wrong, but you know it's a little bit of everything, to be honest.
Yeah.
And some parents focus on something that might not really, be as important to the child's needs as it
Mm.
is to their want, you know.
Yeah.
And I always say sometimes you got to separate your wants from your needs, because sometimes
Mm-hmm.
what you want is not what you need, and sometimes what you need is not what you want. So in reality, what I say when I say that is sometimes a parent might focus on the child being academically, at the highest peak, when this child might be going through some sort of emotional trauma that is not being attended to because
Yes.
of the accolades that wants to be accomplished by the parent, or for whatever Sometimes it's ego. Sometimes it's social, not socioeconomically. It's an ego trip for them to have this child with this good, you know, sense of. It's a lot of. It's a lot to it, but it's something
Mhm.
that could take over what a person thinks about how to raise their child.
Yeah.
The primary goal of parenting is to raise your child better than life yourself,
Mhm.
to prepare them, set them up for what you think will be necessary for them to survive, because you're not going to be
Yeah.
in their life forever. After, uh, but like I said, it's a variable of things, and to raise children, parenting, mother and father, because you can't make one without the other. I mean, science now provides the ability to do more
Changing over time,
than
but yeah,
average. Now you
really
could
and
do a
truly.
lot more than you could do back then.
Yeah.
But as far as how I see the natural cycle of parenting, you
Mhm.
need both your parents, you know, and even if it don't work out between you and the parent, I feel like it's necessary that the parents put aside whatever nonsense to
Mhm.
actually raise that child properly or
Yeah.
children properly. You got me really thinking though deeply because I I just not too long ago, like I told you, I lost my dad, and
Yeah. Sorry to
it
hear that.
that kind of like changed my perspective on a lot. I already viewed manhood a certain way, but
Mhm.
it also increased my necessary need for myself and my brethren or my peoples that I know is necessary for them. I mean,
Yeah.
to have a certain degree of manhood,
Mhm.
you know, to have honor, to have integrity, to have better understanding of self, be self-aware, know how to preserve yourself, and do what's necessary for your family, and
100%.
that's part of being a man, taking care of your family.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So true.
Yeah.
Do you think there is enough good influence for the younger generation?
As far as what, because that question could be answered many ways.
Mm, I guess just generally, but I guess maybe influence in terms of the media, in terms of having guidance from the older generation, um, just that kind of thing, really. Or even where you're from, is there enough good
I
influence?
I always feel. I'm sorry. Continue if you were you finished.
Yeah, I finished.
I feel like there's a lot of influence everywhere. Good
Mm,
influences, bad influences. It's really what you take interest in more so,
mm,
because when I was younger, I took interest into a lot of good things, but then I also took interest in a lot of bad things as well.
yeah.
And it's not because of how I was raised, it's because of what I had access to,
Mm,
you know?
yeah, that's true.
And also remember, you know, I don't know about anybody else, but I grew up with strict parents. So
Me
the
too.
more and more,
Well,
the more
strict parents. Yeah.
yeah, getting punishments and things like that, getting things taken away from you that you wanted or you favored a lot.
Hmm.
I grew up with those type of parents, very high expectations as far as what you do in school, how you carry yourself, your mannerisms.
Hmm.
And there was always those times where I was being scolded or punished, and I would question, why can't I go there? Why can't I do that?
Yeah.
Why y'all? And then you get, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. Every parent is different, but sometimes it will be with really like a halt to why. It wouldn't
Hmm.
be like an explanation. It
Hmm.
would just be like, don't do that. But you know, my pops had a way with with how he say things, you
Mm.
know. And one of his favorite lines was, "When you don't listen, you feel. When you can't hear, you feel." So
Ooh,
in reality,
that's
there was a lot
powerful.
of times very powerful. It makes so much sense, but it's so subtle in how it's said. You don't know what it might mean
Mm.
unless you really comprehend fully what what is being said. And I felt it a lot of times.
Mm.
Unfortunately, I had to feel it a lot of times to understand what he meant by when you don't listen, you feel.
Mm. Yeah, that's powerful. That's very powerful. Um, in what ways do you think that women and men can have a negative impact on society?
Your everyday routine.
Mm.
That's primary. Your everyday routine impacts life daily. You know,
Mm.
if everybody chose to do something different every day, the whole course of what we know as society today would change.
Yeah.
It's just that we have so many people coursed into the same direction or the same ideologies. Societal standards are set on those grounds. So
Mm.
everybody from the UK to America is moving the same friggin' way when it comes to
Mm.
certain things.
Yeah. That's so true. That's so true. There's always a way for people to relate, even if they're, 100 miles away. It's all about
Well,
how
you
you move and what you choose to do each day. I agree with
definitely.
that. Love that. Do you think it's important for people to have self awareness?
That's major key. That's the ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
As I said earlier, I hold my own self and others to that standard of having self awareness.
Mm-hmm.
To be aware of what's around you, be aware of your own actions and how you take these actions, what you think about, how you
Yeah.
go about what you think, you know, and it pretty much sets aside a lot once you figure that out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like once you figure that out, you have a better chance at a lot of things.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Yeah. It's definitely important to know your strengths and weaknesses as well. And then, be able to improve or, just reflect on what you need to do, kind of thing.
Yep.
Do you think that enough people have self awareness then?
No, I don't think that. And I'm not even saying
Straight
that
to
to
your
be
point.
funny. I'm not, it's not a joke to me. I don't really,
No.
I'm smiling because I really, it's comical in a sense, but in reality, it's kind of sad. It's kind of real sad to know that people lack that self awareness because with self awareness comes self accountability. You hear?
Yeah.
As y'all in the UK say, you hear? You hear? But out here we say, you heard? You heard? Exactly. You heard? Because in reality, a lot of people don't have self accountability. So how could you be self aware if you don't got self accountability, right?
Facts.
Can I take a drink to that?
Go on then.
Go on then.
You're funny. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so true. So true. A lot of people are not willing to take self accountability because then that means admitting that they're wrong or admitting that, they have a flaw. And a lot of people are not willing to let go of their ego to do that.
Not at all. Not
What
at
do you,
all.
what do you think are the main problems in the US and within the black community overall?
Ooh, that's a good one.
What
I don't wanna go over nobody's head,
when it comes
but
to
I
mental
might.
health?
Okay.
Mm.
Very key. Major mental health, major health. That's the major health right there. All
Mm-hmm.
right, so peep this. Number one, you said the key word black, right? I don't want to startle none of you in the UK. Y'all might not have this information, but the term black itself is a mental illness. Why? Because you identify yourself by a color. And number two, with that being a mental illness of you thinking you're a color, you also state to yourself that I don't know who I am.
That's deep.
So when you say that, you're basically saying I am unknown, but I embrace being unknown.
Mm.
And I can't identify, so I label myself black because of another person's hatred of my skin color.
That's deep, you know.
So
That's deep.
at one point in
Mm.
time, we had a
I
person
know
like
what you're
Malcolm
saying.
X.
I know what you're saying
Yeah,
because it's like people don't really say white community, but people say black community. But yeah, it all stems from somewhere.
you got Asians, you got all different types of races, but for some reason, American people are
Mm.
black,
Mm. Yeah, and UK people.
and and UK people like you're just black. There's something wrong with that, and until the mass majority of melanated people can identify themselves beyond this stigma of black, then they it will be hard to touch on mental illness fully until we stop believing in indoctrinated theories towards who we are as people, because we are all not the same directly. We all have different lineages. We all come from different lineages of tribe, you know. And until you can touch on those things and touch base with that, the question of mental health is, are we being treated the way we should be treated?
Mm.
In America, black women don't even like their own texture of hair.
Mm. Over here as
They
well, in the UK too.
they don't they don't they don't embrace their own hair. They do all of these expensive hairdos covering up their actual hair. Is that not mental illness?
You tell me.
I mean, I'm not a clinical physician or a clinical therapist or a clinical psychologist to give any clinical statements on if it is, but I would have a big hunch that it might be, and they know that. That's why they do that, and it's indoctrination. I think it's conditioned to be
Woo.
that way for a reason, because they can't even, in certain fields of work, black women cannot wear their own natural hair out.
Mm. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Even me wearing my hair like this, like, is a big step because people don't accept it in the UK. But I embrace it anyway. But yeah, it's difficult, man.
Very.
Mm.
I understand it on so many levels that, yeah, mental health is a very critical thing. It stems from so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
It touches on so many different levels, and it's hard for anybody to truly understand it until they get over the fact that they might not be in mental fitness. They not might not have the right mental fitness to even clinically study mental health,
Mm.
because you cannot have farce and false ideologies breeding this type of thought process on how to treat a particular type of people.
Mm. It's true.
So that's just beyond what you stated. That's just a bigger touch on the oligarchy of how this is built, the hierarchy.
Yeah.
of how it stems down into who we are as people and what we consider mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Because we even have a sense of delusional health, mental health going on here. Where be happy with every fuckery that exists. Everything, every and everything, just accept any and everything that goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Happy, happy, joy, joy, smile.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Mm.
that's kind of fucked
Mm.
up mental health right there.
Pretend everything's okay, you know, pretend you're strong. Yeah. 100%.
I gotta take another drink. I'm sorry. I got to. It really is stifling to know that people can't progress because of these false ideologies of how to condition and understand mental health.
Mm.
And it's all in textbooks. You go to uni for it, right? Spend all those years in uni in the UK, spend all them years in the university in America, pay all that fucking money back, and then you still don't get that big position. You still end up kissing somebody else's ass for a few years before they even give you a nice book study position.
Mm. You're preaching. You're preaching.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a lot of shit.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot of shit. You
Mm.
got to take it in how you want.
Yeah.
Really much, mental health is a very touchy subject. That's because I feel we all got PTSD.
Whoo.
We experienced a lot of traumatic things in history, just in
Mm.
history alone. Your ancestors experienced traumatic things in history alone. Whether you're mixed with white and black, whether you're mixed with this or that, it doesn't matter. There was some form of difference at one point in time that globally affected all of us.
Mm-hmm.
So I
100%.
feel we all got PTSD, and that's mental health unchecked. Because
Wow.
ain't all of us going to a goddamn physician to tell us that we're crazy or we need help or nothing. We're going to work. We're still living our regular lives. And just, some of us happen to maintain that clockwork and just keep it going. And some of them got screws loose that they can't fix.
That's deep.
I don't know. I'm rolling the ball right now.
No, I love it. I love it. That reminds me of something I seen. It said something like sorry to say black people, but it said black people need to normalize going to therapy without, feeling like they're going to be judged for being crazy or being called crazy. Just normalize going to therapy. Like it should be a normal thing, really.
Hmm.
What do you think of that?
I would say it's good to have an outlet of who to talk to about your problems, but then what is the result of talking to this person?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
You know?
therapy can come in any different forms to people, I guess. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be just going to a therapist. People have different ways of having their therapy. That's the way I see it anyway, but you know, what do you think?
I mean, I've been told I need to see a therapist before, you know?
Okay.
And I guess coming from the people that it's coming from, it sounds like, okay, you're crazy, but I can't help you. So you need to go see somebody that can.
Mm,
And even in that same notion of saying like, okay, so there's people who exist because people that are around you that claim to love you and care about you can't handle, manage, understand, comprehend, or even fully take in you and in your moments of need. But
whew,
they love you enough to tell you to go to someone else that doesn't know you, that can fucking
yeah.
tell you if you're okay or not.
Mm, yes.
And this the same people that'll tell you to go to these people might be crazy themselves. And I've even, as crazy as it sounds, I've looked into therapists and psychologists who have literally committed atrocities in society due to their positions of, it's like a position of power mentally, and that's the most key source of power, is to control the mind. So if I could tell you you're crazy, you might not want to believe it. You might be disappointed to hear it, but then you start to let it wear on you that you might be. Isn't that mind shifting if your mind is already weak?
Whew.
You know what I'm saying? That's a very deep thing. So when people say mental health, mental health, mental health, I always try to get into the fact that there's a responsibility in all of us to acquire the knowledge to study each other and help each other. I grew up in the age where scolding was necessary. When a girl wore a short skirt, or when a boy was sagging his fucking pants too low. You know what I mean? Don't get it twisted, y'all. I'm talking to y'all at the age of 35. I'm not talking to y'all like I'm 19, 20 years old. So I'm speaking from then till now.
Yeah.
I did a lot of dumb shit, and I've been that, you know, wanted to be a ruffian, want to be tough out in the street, do a lot of shit, did a lot of shit too, you know? I used to fight a lot. I used to get into a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? But the mentality that you have in those times, that's hypersexual for males and hypersexual for females. Those are all feral nature things that have been hyper pushed to our mentalities through the music and the shit we watch. And you regurgitate it in your actions.
Yeah.
So speaking
Media.
from then to now, yeah, mental health is something that you have to acquire first to study with yourself.
Yeah.
Study yourself first. What the fuck is wrong with you? What's wrong with you, buddy? Don't be questioning nobody else until you question your fucking self.
Yeah.
You know what my father used to say? And this is how real it is. I don't swear for my kids where I can't see them. Because I don't know what the fuck they doing behind my back. That's the realest shit my pops ever said. You know how much sneaky shit I done did?
Yeah, you're going deep. I love it. Love it. But it's so
Gotta
true
talk
though.
about it.
So true. You gotta look in yourself first and really dig deep in yourself and figure out, what is it about me? Like, what is it about me? Not even why. Not even why am I this way? Why do I do that? But what is it about me? What can I change? What do I need to improve? That kind of thing. I think that's so important. Because once you dig deep within yourself, then you can help other people dig deep within other people. But until then, it's just going to be like a cycle where instead of digging deep within each other, people are fighting with each other, not getting along with each other and all that kind of stuff.
And that's a cycle all in itself. That's a crazy cycle that's hard to break right now. It seems like it's just getting worse and worse. And if that's part of mental health, then the things that's the most important ain't being even treated with the importance it needs. You got people that can't even, like I said, I used to fight a lot. I'm speaking from a level where just having odds with the next man might lead to some brazen shit. You know what I'm saying? And where does it come from? Where the hell does that come from? All right, look at the environment we live in. Look at how everybody treating each other. Everybody got a breaking point. But is that being treated with the same fucking respect as body shaming? Body shaming for this one, and and this type of shaming for this and this type of shame for that, but there's no shame on the fact that people have ignorant minds.
Mm, facts.
Like whatever. You can take it whatever way for people who don't agree with what I'm saying. I just look at it like you're not
It's facts
aware of
though.
yourself.
Facts.
If you could say that what is going on today helps build more sense of awareness for mental health, it's actually increasing the ability for people who have like literally like silly thoughts of themselves being appropriated.
Mm,
Like popular opinions overrule facts now for some weird reason.
yeah.
And it don't even be based on any form of science, any
Mm,
statistical proof, nothing. It's just like this person has 1 million followers and they said this. Now we all got to go with this. What?
mm.
I don't know.
It's true.
I don't know.
It's true. And that goes back to influence and impact as well, because I feel like a lot of people, especially like people with a big following and stuff, they do things for money a lot of the time. This is what people don't realize. Instead of doing things from the soul and, to actually try and try and improve themselves, try and improve things, they do it for money.
Definitely. That's,
And it
payola.
influences a lot of
Get the
people.
bag.
It influences a lot of people. Do you know what I mean? So I just think it's important to have real conversations with people rather than influencing them to foolishness, really.
Well, like how I've been saying it for a while,
Mm,
especially like here in America, especially with all of the antics in the music industry and stuff like that.
mm-hmm,
I've already seen so much, to kind of say that the influence is behind who got the power, you know,
mm,
and whoever got the power, whether they be the hidden hand that's doing it or they just a person that got the right type of influence, it's always going to be based on money and popularity.
mm,
Always, no matter how the fuck it comes, it's going to always be based off of money and popularity and whatever secret agenda that they have in store for it fully. Because
yeah,
if
secret
you pay
society.
attention, yeah, it's like something else. It's something beyond what you think and what, because there's so
Mm-hmm,
many talented musicians and so many talented people that do different things, but they don't get no recognition for it, that you really have to question how the fuck does it keep sticking to this same way, this
mm-hmm,
same format, this same way of doing things, you know?
yeah.
It's like they want it to be like that. And it was like we didn't in the last, let's be honest, for those that take interest in what I'm saying. In the last 20 years, nothing has changed with in American music as far as the what it's really pushed.
Mm,
Not the sound. Don't pay attention to the sound or how it changed from this way they rap like this, rap like that.
mm,
Listen to the messages and what the fuck they saying.
yeah, yeah.
They ain't saying shit.
Mm,
I rap too, so trust me, you ain't a nigga that's gonna pull no balls on me and think I ain't gonna. I got ignorant balls for y'all niggas too, but that's not my go-to. It's just the fact that I look at it like if you're gonna be a musician
mm,
or a music artist and you want to claim that this is what you want in life,
mm,
if you don't have the ability to be versatile and try new things and separate yourself from others by just being different, then
yeah.
I don't see no true talent in you.
Mm,
If you're doing what the next person is doing.
yeah. Just doing it for clout or money.
Yeah, and that's all you see out here. That's all we get nowadays. It's the
Mm,
same shit over and over and over and over and over and over.
yeah.
Different faces, probably different areas of the United States with the same fucking shit over and over.
And unfortunately, even in the UK, unfortunately, that is what actually works for people. Like that's what actually helps them to climb the ladder when it shouldn't be like that really. But it is what it is really.
Hey, I mean, I see that the UK has like drill artists and things like that now too, and
Hmm.
I've got to see a few videos and stuff. I'm not taking nothing away from
Who have you
any artist,
watched?
whether, huh?
Who have you watched from the UK?
Oh, to be honest, I don't look at names. I just watch the video,
Hmm.
um, and you know, some of it I find it to be different and unique, and some of it I find it to be like, you know, maybe it could have been different if it would have been like not that, like something else. If you got enough talent to make music, you should have enough talent to be different.
Versatile. Yeah.
Have your own shit. You don't need to follow no format with
Mm,
music. Music is creativity. You break barriers when you do different things. Don't follow the next man. The next man will have you following him forever.
yeah, it's true. It's not about following trends.
And that's what you see nowadays. There's a lot of trendy stuff. It's not really artistry.
Mm, fact.
Nobody putting out music or doing things that you could really say is different. And that's my whole problem is the difference. What is your difference with the other artists that make you unique and I should put my money into you?
Mm, it's true.
I want to buy half of y'all music. I'm letting y'all know that. I want to buy half of y'all music. And probably I would say the same for me, but I know my music is different.
Who
I know
you
the way I
talking
rap
to?
is different. Huh?
Who you talking to? Referring to?
Oh, I'm just saying the general population of artists, the oversaturated level of
Okay.
artistry that's supposed to be out there. So many of them.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you hear them, it's like, what's so different about this? What's so good about this?
Mm,
It's like the R and the ooh in music has really left.
yeah.
It's
Long
kind of more
time
like
ago. This is why.
clown man shit.
Yeah. This is why I mostly prefer old school music because I can just relate to it more. What does good mental health mean to you?
Good mental health. Finding your peace
Mm-hmm.
and letting that be who you are.
Nice. I like that. That's so important. What things do you do to help ease your mind?
Um, Number one,
Mm.
I think
It's important to think.
very important. I try to resolve all of my bad thoughts in my mind first
Mm-hmm.
without negative input of thoughts. I roll up some Mary Jane and we do our thing.
Oh, is it legal over there?
In certain areas, yes, it's
Okay.
legal. It does a lot for your mind, body, and soul.
Ah, the natural things, like CBD oil and things like that.
I love my flowers, but I do that, sometimes I go take a walk, I exercise, I do jog. Well, now I jog. Before I wasn't jogging, before I would just take walks, but now I'm jogging.
That's good.
Um, Yeah.
I rate anybody who jogs. When I see people jogging, I'm like, yes, that's good.
Yeah. So, you know, get my blood flowing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, sometimes you gotta rid yourself of that feeling by just doing things that push yourself further. You know, you gotta feel accomplished, even if it's by the day. You gotta make some form of goal for yourself. You
Mm-hmm.
know, set a task for yourself that you could complete. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I know I could make it here, or I know I could do this. You know, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of that helps.
100%.
You know, and you know, I entertain myself by certain things. I play video games, not as much as I used to, but it's only because of my setup right now. I don't, you know, I don't really feel like I have the time, and I don't really, um, I don't feel interested as I did before. But I used to play a lot of video games,
Mm-hmm.
write, draw, you know,
What's your
creative stuff.
What's your favorite video games?
My favorite video games. Um, all time, my favorite video games would be like Shinobi 3, Revenge of Shinobi for Sega Genesis, uh, certain fighting games, a lot of Street Fighters, Tekken,
Street Fighter,
uh,
Tekken. Those are the ones I used to like.
Call of Duty. I like Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's a lot of games all time. I can't really give you a specific game. There's so many. It's just I love it. Just to say it, I love video games. I think I'm gonna be an older man still getting involved here and there, playing some games. You know,
Mm.
I make sure to keep my systems and things like that. It is you know, it keeps your brain working. It's exercise for the brain.
Yeah, 100%. Do you think that the system is a huge part of the problem when it comes to mental health? I know I'm looking forward to hearing your answer for this one.
And what do you mean by the system?
The system, the government, people in power, well, power, and yeah, could be the education system, the workplace system,
The matrix.
the matrix, yeah, basically.
Well, the whole matrix theme is that you can't trust anybody because they're all agents, or
Mm,
any of them could potentially be an agent, right? So mental health is affected heavily by the motherboard of the computer, right? If the motherboard of the computer is corrupted, isn't every other thing in there going to be affected by it?
ooh, that's deep.
Whoo!
That's deep. Do you have your own mental health story that you'd be
Losing
open
my
to sharing?
father, losing my father. That's pretty much it.
Mm.
Losing my pops.
And how did you manage that? Or are you still managing it now?
I'm still managing it,
Mm.
and it's an everyday thing. You got to take it day by day. You got to be willing to push yourself. You know,
Yeah.
there's plenty of days where I was the worst person. You know, I'm more or less being honest about it. It's a very big step for myself to do a lot of things without that type of what can I say? Without that tutelage.
Mm.
You know,
Influence.
asking those questions and, hey, Pop, how you do this? Or, oh, you know, what you think about this? And, you know, even at points where we was at odds and we didn't speak at all,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's a lot, you know, to just mentally get over knowing that a person's not there physically to speak to.
Mm.
Somebody that was in your life all your life and did whatever they could to make sure you had what you need.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Grieving is hard. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
That's why I respect the mother and the fathers, the
Mm,
mother having the mother and the father so much because I had both of mine and they did pretty well together. You know,
that's
my
nice.
father was saying my father was saying my mother name to his dying day.
Mm, that's
So
nice.
when people have these differences, man and woman, just know that there's many men and women who love each other and they do what they gotta do.
Mm,
It's more so what you have in your life that is holding you back. You gotta let go of those negative thoughts. Those times in your life that you felt down and you felt hurt because of somebody else, just know it was that person. Not everybody did that to you.
mm.
Not to say to trust all, but it's to say
No,
to let go of what makes you feel that way.
yeah, 100%. No, you can't trust everybody, but you can't stay bitter either. You can't stay bitter in life. Even I've had to learn that for myself. You know, you can't stay bitter in life. But do you have any words of wisdom?
I felt like everything I said was words of
It
wisdom.
really was. Oh my goodness.
Nah, let me not get ahead of myself. All right, well, if I gotta drop some jewels for y'all,
Mhm.
I come from New York. I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from a fast-paced city. We talk fast. We move fast. You could get hustled out of anything. You come out here and don't know where you at.
Oh.
Um, I would say is like this:
Mhm.
if you know what you know about yourself from the heart, your heart is the main part. The main part. Fuck what's up here sometimes too. Fuck what's up here sometimes too.
Mm.
The only time your heart really count is when you know yourself. You get what I'm
Whoo!
saying?
Free.
That's the only time your heart really count is when you know yourself. Because in your heart, you know how you feel about that shit.
Yeah.
Your heart is the place of feeling, y'all.
Mhm.
Don't confuse your mind for your heart. Your heart is not your mind, and your mind is not your heart. Sometimes you might mind what you feel, but sometimes you might not feel what you mind. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It's a lot of mixture of thought. I give it in analogies because I'm built like that. I could talk fast and give it to you many ways, but I'm trying to tell y'all the difference. Your heart is not your mind, and your mind is not your heart. You
Mhm.
can't feel what your mind thinks, and you can't think what your what your heart feels.
So true.
Okay,
So true.
so you got to know how to separate those things to accomplish a lot of things.
Mm.
And I say that with good faith that y'all take what I say and y'all don't just misconstrue me as I'm pushing my mind beyond where it's supposed to be. But I definitely appreciate when people can hear somebody else and know that it ain't no malice. It's just coming from a sense of knowing myself.
Yes, Fetti. Woo! Wow. I don't even know what to say. You've got me speechless now. You've actually got me speechless. Woo!
But I'm glad that we can have this convo though because
Yeah.
it's, you're the first person that actually even thought of what I think to really bring me on to their platform and have a conversation with me and ask me questions and pick my mind and you know that's deep and I appreciate that.
I'm honored. I'm honored. I appreciate you. This is one of the best interviews that I've done, honestly. It's been really powerful. So I appreciate
Big
you.
up yourself though. Big up yourself
UK
because
to
I've been watching.
US, you know?
Huh?
UK to US.
UK to the US, US to the UK, all that.
Hmm. Love it.
Much
Love
love.
it. Thank you so much, Fetti. Appreciate you. Where can people find you? to follow you, or?
Well, my Instagram name is controversial, but my
Oh,
Instagram
I
name
love the
is
honesty, though. I love the honesty about it.
I never made it to be nice. My Instagram name is Fetti over hoes. FETTI_OVA_HOES hoes. Okay,
What inspired
and
that name?
huh?
What inspired that name?
A lot of things. A lot of things. Turning points in life as well. Turning points,
Mm,
transitions. Um, seeing how money done made a lot of motherfuckers change how they think.
mm,
Seeing how money actually rootedly is not the form of evil that you think it is. It's the people with the money that's fucking evil. You know what I'm saying? Because something that is not real cannot think for itself.
woo,
But if it was made out of deceit, then yeah, it's evil only because of its owners and its
mhm.
property sharers. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's deep. That's deep. Thank you, Fetti. That was a really, really good one. Appreciate you. And
Appreciate you too.
guys, make sure you go and check him out and tune in for the next video. Bye.
Later.